Hello there, everyone. It's me, Sorcerer17 here, and I do not know this picture, and this is a non-paid video. Alright, okay, so here is the thing about this. It is... Oh, okay, try to stomach, but anyways, it is, the Naruto was in high school DXD! Okay, I keep on getting, just... Like, okay, I just want to say this. It's a harem anime, so I'm going the lines of it, but I'm not gonna do like every girl's gonna like him. No, no. Only three girls, basically. You already know the two. The third one is kind of a secret. I think one subscriber knows. If no one likes it, sorry, but basically my general idea is it's a freaking harem anime. Like, really, opportunity. I'm joking, but no, it's just basically it's just harem anime. So I don't see the big deal with just having Naruto date like three different girls, and like Issei's gonna get a girlfriend or two. I don't know, but honestly, I already know who it's gonna be. So yeah, and it's one person asked for it, and it was gonna be that anyways. That's why I had the idea of like yeah. So I already found out. I remembered everything, and a lot of things are gonna be different. Like Naruto, Razor basically is gonna get his butt kicked by Naruto, and I'm having him taking all of his, chess pieces, but they're not gonna be a part of it. His Parag, more Parag basically, and it's just like they work for Naruto, and he doesn't have them become chess pieces. He doesn't have them bend to his whim. He just says it's your choice to work for me or not. That's what it's gonna be, and this is gonna be in this episode. Episode, I mean part. God, I'm thinking this is like I'm making an anime episode. Jesus. So, I already thought how this is gonna be. This is gonna be done. This story and this part. Basically, what Naruto's gonna say, I'm gonna have him do something, and if no one likes gore or whatever, I would have made it. I made it a lot gorier in my head, but I'm gonna basically down it down a little, so it's just like not too much. But just know, these are non-fictional characters; they're not real, and whatever happens to them is not like actual real. Like, so yeah, they're just drawings. But anyways. So last time we left off, it's Naruto, says to them, after he takes off his, uniform, and they see all his scars on him. Basically, it is, slash marks. Even a couple of, stab marks. Even one that looks like a spear was hit him. But yeah, so anyways, that's what they see. It's a lot, and Akano is just, she looks away for a bit, and then she looks back, and she's like, Naruto can see she wants to cry so badly right now. Like Koneko and Ashina, uh, Ashina, yeah, Ashina, are just crying and so yeah. I forgot to mention they were crying, but my bad. So yeah, basically though, um, this is what Naruto was in high school at DXD, part 2. Okay, so as Naruto just says, but I'd rather not tell you how it happened. I'd rather show you after I explain something. Also, I think it's the underworld, so, as Naruto says, in the underworld, there was a disease that happened when I was 9, and no, 8, yeah. It happened when I was 8, and I was about to turn 9. Rias caught a disease. Many people have already had this. People try to find, other devils were getting sick. It didn't matter how old they were, young and old. Rios was just one of those children that got it. And, well, my father and mother didn't like it. Neither did my big brother. So they were desperate. They had like multiple scientists search for a cure, and the only thing that they ever could find was basically a plant of pure hope, light, and goodness. Basically, it had a multiple cure to it. It can cure any disease, and they needed the juice of it to make a vaccine. So, the only problem was that it was in a land that was forbidden by the former demon king. This was before my big brother became, the ruler. So, yeah. As in, while he was saying this, he was thinking of it. As he thought, maybe a genjutsu? Yeah. So he starts weaving hand signs. As they like, what the? As he says, not memory stories of a story of memory. As basically all they see is, Naruto looking into the strategy room as Zex says, "This is suicide, father." As he goes, "I know, but we can't let Rias and anyone else die. It has already been about 100 people have already been dead because of this disease. Who knows how long we have until more get sick." And then, Zay says, there are multiple, creatures. Well, these are, I don't know if there's actually demons, like monsters, just like mindless monsters that are, just demons. So if they're not, then I'm putting them in there. I'm putting them in. So yeah. So basically, these are demons. Like, it's, even though there's been multiple yokais, devils, and anything else, it has basically been, it's not worth to send this many people, as Zio says, "I know, but it's the only chance we got." And Naruto waits till they leave. There's like two doors where Naruto is looking through, and the other door. Naruto goes to after he opens the door, he walks over to the table. He gets on it and he sees the map. And it says the forbidden area. And he knows, he says it's actually near us. So he decides. He knew how to wield a sword, so he brings a sword with him. So he runs over to Armory, grabs a sword, and he's just walking out, and Kiba sees him. He goes, "Naruto." I think Kiba should not be there, but I think he. No. No, I don't think Kiba's there yet. Nah, I think he, after this, he'll be there, but, like, he'll meet him, like, a year or two later. So, yeah, but, anyways, it's Akano who sees him, and she goes, "Naruto, what are you doing? Where are you going with that sword and all?" And Naruto says, "I'm going there." And she goes, "Wait, what?" He goes, "I'm going to get the plant that father and big brother need to get a cure for everyone." And she goes, she basically says, "Why? Shouldn't you let, like, stronger people handle this?" And he looks and he goes, like, "It's a suicide run. It's better off to at least have someone go there and then clear a path. At least. If I get there, I'll make sure I come back." As Zexio's, like, her Akano, like, as basically he says that, Akano just starts yelling at him, saying, "Are you an idiot? Why would you go to such lengths?" And like length to do this, as Zax basically came back, into the room, and he heard, Akano, sitting, because there's like right near the armory, was like right past the strategy room. So basically, they're like right near the door, as Naruto says, "Because I have to." And she realized it's because of Ria. So he goes, "Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. Many people are gonna die along with her. I can't let no one die. Not while I can do something." And he just starts walking off. Zax heard it as he runs out. He says, "Naruto!" As he looks back, he goes, "Crap!" As Naruto just basically runs, and immediately he just jumps right over the railing. They're on the second floor, so basically he jumps right off the balcony railing, well, over it, and then just he basically threw the sword right into like the side, right near the door, as then he just lands and rolls and starts running to it. As he just grabs the sword out of it and pushes for the door and just starts running. As Zach's already like he's really fast. I think, yeah, Zach should be fast. So he gets to the door while Naruto is like has like a 30-minute head start of him, but Zach knows he can't leave because of, well, if he stops Naruto now, Naruto just will do it later on. So he doesn't see the point, but it's like this dangerous. So he just yells out, "You better not die! If you die, I'll never forgive you." Basically, as he says, "You have to promise me you'll come back." As Naruto just yells out, "No problem, no problem, big brother. If I find anything at all too dangerous, I'll try to get out of there. I promise you, I'll come back alive." As Naruto just leaves, as Akano just has a basically has a sad face, and Naruto's still shirtless. As basically they ask Akano, "Why is he, you're sad?" And she basically said, "Because I let him go through all that pain." And Naruto just walks over to her and just gives her a hug, and then she starts crying. He goes, "It was worth it though." And she says, "Why did you have to, allow yourself to get hurt just because of Rias or to save someone's life?" Basically, Ashina, basically can't believe Naruto would go to such lengths. Kaneko knew, Naruto's loyalty was strong, but, so she finally asked, "Did you really love Rias that much?" As Naruto does let go of Akano, and she stops crying. He just says, "It's not just that. I had this. I don't know why, but I couldn't let people die. If I had something, power, strength, I wanted to protect people, no matter how weak they were, basically. So that's what my decision was, to save them, even if it cost me my life." As basically they see Naruto. He runs like it takes him about 4 hours to get there, because he has to run because he had to take a train. And this stop, he basically had to jump off of the train and just like get to the forbidden area. And when he gets there, he sees it. It's not like the place of the Grimory's, estate. It's more dark and twisted, spikes and vines and just dark and gloomy, and the reek of death in the air. As Naruto just says, "Well, this doesn't scream forbidden place. I don't know what is, but hey, it's whatever. It's whatever." So Naruto was at the edge of it as he just jumps down, and when he he just, it wasn't that far, but basically he jumped, and he sees basically a like hill, and he like lands on it, and all of a sudden he just starts, basically he rolled and he just starts sliding. They do have grass in this forbidden area. It's just like dark and gloomy, but it's like dead and stuff. But anyways, so yeah, when he stops sliding, he was like, okay. So if I remember correctly, that I have to go straight, and about a 3 to 4 day, 3 or 2 day hike, I should be there. But the only problem is there are creatures in here that will kill me. Probably some demons that don't usually ever have a mind, so savages. Yeah. Alright, let's go. I want to just start running. And immediately, after 45 minutes, like basically a demon basically, pops out of nowhere. It tries to attack Naruto. As he cuts it down, and then he notices that there's three more. As I'm not gonna go. Wait, just pause real quick. I'm not gonna go through the whole entire thing, but just note these are a lot of demons. I'm calling them. They're not devils. They basically are just. They look like demons. What you can think of. Let's say like they look like Doom's demons. Yeah, they look like Doom's demons. I don't own that. I don't own Doom or Doom Eternal or anything to do with Doom. But I'm just saying they look like them. They look like them a little bit, not much. But yeah, those types of demons basically. As Archer said, okay, he went through about 20 of them already, and there's like even more there. He was like, all right, how many more of you freaks are there? As basically they even have weapons. Like some have spears, some have like cleavers, and some have swords. He goes, oh great. First ones without swords and weapons, now swords and weapons. This is just not my day. And I don't got time for any of you. And then he just like goes right through them. I'm gonna calm them down. But he's getting like, sword strikes. Um, gets like like one of them hits him in an area that they see. It pierces right through him, and he just rips it out of him. And he just slams the demon into a wall. He just cuts his head off. And he just uses the spear as as his own. As 5 hours later, he's covered in multiple wounds. Suddenly they're starting to heal. As Naruto doesn't even know what's happening to him. He just feels weird, like everything's just going back into place and healing. And it's getting night, and it's very dangerous. And his sword broke. He's been using the demon's weapons, just going right through everything. And he can already tell that he's going the right way. Well, he found out that this is leading him to what he seeks. And so he rests though. He finds an area to rest. He makes a campfire, and he falls asleep. And basically, nothing happens to him because it's in an area where there's not many, and if so, like they'll never be because there's like a certain plant in the area that they hate, and it doesn't like harm anyone else besides them. So besides these demons, so yeah, so Naruto's safe. He gets up, stretches, a day pass. He does this all over again, fighting through multiple demons, gaining more scars, everything that he's been getting. He just fights on. Heck, a demon nearly cut off his leg, but he suddenly stopped with his hand, just by grabbing the demon's arm, breaking it, and then what he does is just take out the cleaver and just smacks it right into it, the demon's chest, killing it. And Kaneko, Asuna, and Anko just are shocked by this. As Naruto just says, "Yeah, I fought like a monster. They were monsters. I had to be a greater one." So I got there. It took me a day, it took me like 2 days to get there, but hey, well, it took me a day and one day and then a half of a day to get there. As he says in there was the boss of all of them. Basically a flaming headed skeleton that could talk, and Basically, it was the big bad guy, and it's like fire, blue fire with a horse riding on it, and it had a freaking sword. Great. As Naruto said, that was the best time ever. As when Naruto, basically in the illusion within the Genjutsu that he's shown through his memory, walks into it, he goes like, okay, so they begin. I have figured out the weakest to the strongest, and now here's the big giant freaking bad guy, the boss. All right, let's see how freaking terrifying he is, as Naruto does have like a freaking bow and arrow, which a freaking demon had, a freaking sword and a spear on his back along with the bow and arrow, and he just says, the bow and then the arrows basically. He just says to himself, "This flower better be here. Well, this plant better be here, so that way I can freaking get back home before I die." So yeah, so Naruto goes in. He sees the boss just standing there in a green field. Everything just colorful as he says, "So, you are the boy that's been walking through my land." As Naruto goes, "Oh, your land? This is called the Forbidden Land." By, the very first Demon King, Lucifer, ordered it. And let me guess, this is all because of you? He goes, "No. It was the previous person before me, but it does not matter here. You're gonna die, child." As Naruto basically gets into a stance, holding the sword and a spear, and he grabs a spear and says, "Not in your life, freak." As this skeleton just, it looks like he's smiling, and then all of a sudden, fire comes out of the air, just shooting at Naruto. As Naruto just dodges, he goes like, "What the?" And this, this skeleton just says, "Oh, you dodged it very well." Now, as basically, there's a sword that comes out of the ground as he just grabs says, "Dodge this." As then he sends a wave of fire from a slash going at Naruto. As Naruto just says, okay, because it's like a big wide area one, so he says, "Okay, can't go around it, can't go over it. Alright." Sorry, everyone. But anyways, he says, "Gotta go through it." Basically, he just runs and then jumps right through it. And he does technically, he only gets like a first degree burns, basically. And the skeleton just says, "Not bad. Now then, show me how skilled you are with a sword." As basically Naruto, blocks the attack from the skeleton. He then pushes him off of him and just starts, basically, pushes the sword off of his sword, and just starts attacking him. This demon is impressed by Naruto's skills, but he's way more skilled than Naruto. As then he kicks Naruto, sending him flying to the wall. As Naruto is getting angry, as his eyes just glow red, and he says, "I am done playing around with you, stupid skeleton. Give me that freaking flower so I can get it to the people who need it, you dumb freaking skeleton." And he just runs over him and just starts slashing. And the skeleton is having a hard time keeping up with Naruto. As then Naruto, kicks the skeleton, sending him flying into a wall. As he's about to get out, as Naruto then suddenly appears right in front of it. He just sees the red eyes. He goes, "What? What are?" And he doesn't even finish it. Naruto just freaking cuts off the head and cuts the body, and then smashes the skeleton's head with his own head, basically breaking it. So Naruto just freaking leaves this, throws down the sword because it broke. The spear is okay, and the bow and arrow is just fine. Sorry, but anyways, so Naruto says, "Good, he's dead. Now to get this freaking plant." As Naruto basically had a bag, and he basically puts it inside. There's like multiple fruits. As he puts it inside the bag, he goes, "Alright, how much time do I have left?" And let's just say Rios was diagnosed to have this, but will be dead in about 4 days. So Naruto thinks he doesn't have any time left. Because, well, his perspective. Okay, I'm just yawning. I'm just tired. I got class tomorrow morning, but anyways, yeah. I mean, this morning at 11:30. But anyways, Naruto, says it doesn't matter if I have time. I ain't gonna stop. I ain't gonna stop till I get there. Basically, he just starts running right through, and Naruto basically doesn't care about the night, doesn't care about anything. He's just running, and the demons basically are attacking him, and way more hordes basically. As his eyes are still red, he says, "Get out of my way, you stupid freaks!" And he just starts like attacking them, and he's just screaming, basically just a war cry, as they're all just like dying basically. I'm not gonna say how because it's way brutal. So it's the third day. Naruto just freaking he gets the train. The train he had to the train just stopped basically, and he gets in. He goes back to the grammar place, and he's bad, like he's in really bad shape. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Demon had some of them even have clubs, which he even got hit, and that did break a few things from the inside, and then he was healing. But yeah, basically though, when Naruto gets to like the area where like Grimory's like estate is, he gets off of the train and he starts walking to the Grimory's house, as everyone just sees Naruto covered in scars and blood, and just overall just looks like he's about to just pass out. As he gets there an hour later, because he's walking so slow, like he opens the door and Zex already was like, is Zex already says he's probably like, we had to go there get Naruto now. He probably took out a lot of them, but we had to go save him. As Zio says, yes, you're right. We had to go there now. As basically they were already like rushing, about to rush out the door as they see Naruto just covered in wounds and blood like dripping off him. It's his own and the demons basically. As Anko just like even came out, and you know and this is on the first floor, so she was like coming from a area like from one door, and she says, "Sir Zax, Sir, Zio, what's wrong, Rod?" And even like Vanilla, Velena came, and she goes, "Honey, what's wrong?" And she says, "My baby," as he says, "I got them, the fruit plant that you guys needed to save everyone." As he just falls backwards, as everyone just runs over, like Zero, Zex, and Zio. I'm just like I said last time. I'm just gonna call him Zio. Basically, raise his father. Just wait, hold on. I'm gonna make sure I got it right. That's Celtics. Basically he told someone to call the paramedics and all that. Well, call the hospital and such. So basically, what happens is they get the plant, and they create the serum to get everyone. And it was only like the second day, but it went to the third because of like how long it took Naruto. Basically, it was like he got there during the night. The train was there, and he just got on, and basically he just left. He didn't even sleep. He just stayed up because he knew if he did sleep, he was gonna die. So he just stayed up. He just kept on moving. That was it. He just kept on moving on the train, and then at the hospital, they had to do multiple freaking surgeries. Like he was in a very, very bad shape. They don't even know how he was even alive. But they said he had like multiple fractures, bones, like a couple of organs that like they were pierced by spears, but they seem like they healed. And such, his body is really in bad shape. They had to basically heal, like sewed up a lot of scars, and just yeah. But he did say he's gonna survive somehow. It's a miracle, and this is because of the nine-tailed fox. Like Like the seal on him was like weakened enough for like the chakra to start healing him. His chakra basically started to heal him. So yeah, as yeah, Akano like even heard him saying like he he shouldn't even have survived. He should have been dead. The way it is, like he basically got hit by a spear in a lung. He should have like bled out to death. But this guy just basically look he ripped up the spear and just kept going. We don't know how Naruto, like your son, he says to Seotix, and just like we don't even know how he did this, but he did, and everyone should be grateful to him. As Naruto's like they're not in the room Naruto is, but they ask. I mean, he'll say, "I'll ask Naruto if he wants to be known to done like he did this," and if he says no, then that means a no. Sorry, but yeah. So the doctor nods and saying that's perfectly understandable. And though the doctor did like leave along with his Leodix to go see Naruto, but there's like his medical like on what they had to do to him, and she just basically Naruto doesn't know this, but this is like your information. So basically, Akano, no, he had like Akano's basically. It's like showing hers like anyone who knows it, because he does say, "Oh yeah, I don't know this part, so this must have been Akano's." He goes, "I guess it also works for anyone who actually knows me or what this happens." So this is like Akano's memory. He thinks to himself. She goes and just looks at everything as just seeing what Akano sees, and Asha and Koneko is just in shocked by it. It has multiple like blueprints, like multiple pictures, multiple like images, like what they had to do, or what was hurt, what was really bad, and stuff. As Ashina just falls to her knees, as Koneko just about to like just start to lose it, and then basically when they get to Naruto, it's like because when he's like waking up, they go to that, and basically his ex is there, and his father is an Optics. His mother, Vanilla, ugh, Vanillina. It's just there. It's same way with Graphia, and she just it's just like crying. This is like before like their son, like Zach's and Grafia's like son is there, so he's not born yet. As they both, like, everyone just says, why did you go there? How did you even get there? How do you even know where it was?" And they're just like asking all these questions. As Zach just says, Naruto found out he was spying on us, talking father. I figured that out because after he left, he promised me though he would come back. And I didn't know he was going to come back barely able to stand. As his extra says, "How did you?" He just says, Naruto basically just says because of his reason. He goes, "I couldn't let no one die, not even Rias. Many people are dying, right?" He said it was a suicide run, so I thought, hey, I'm strong, I'm quick. Why not go in there to let loose? See how far I can get, and if it's too dangerous, run. And he really was just thinking of Rias the whole entire time. And that's what Akano, wait, not Akano, um, wait, yeah, Akano and Kaneko and Asha just see. Like Naruto was thinking of Rias, but then it was like different. Like, it just went to like his family, and Akano was a part of it. But she did blush for that, and Naruto sees it as he can like. I'm making Naruto like understand like when the girl blushes, like, it means like they're embarrassed or like they are flustered, just like they like someone and they might have like found out that they liked them or something. So yeah, so Basically his Altus asks if he wants to be known for the as a hero. As he nods, he just says, "I don't want to. Just say that your army did it or something. All right. I don't want to be known as a hero. That's too troublesome." As then he just falls back to sleep. As everyone just laughs a little, and Akano is there, so she's just looking down and not even laughing, which people knows. But yeah, so Naruto ends the genjutsu, and he said, as he puts back on his uniform. And while he's doing it, he says, "And I was in the hospital for 4 days." And Rias didn't really came to see me because I didn't want her to. Before you ask, as Hakano doesn't say he did it, confirmed it with them, and yeah, so he goes over to Kaneko and just starts hugging her, and she just starts like he bends down and hugs her, and she just starts crying. Akano, like Asia, just basically like runs over and just hugs him. This is not a ship. They're not, she's not gonna be part of the ship. Basically, she's just a really good friend. So, and Akano just comes over and just, hugs him. And this goes on for about 10 minutes. So he just take it off. I mean, he lets go Kaneko, and then he deactivates the mist jutsu, and yeah. So after that, he just says to them, "Don't tell no one, not even Ise or Rias or Kiva, especially Rias," as he says though. As Asha asks why. He goes, "If she knew what I did, she would have. She would really feel bad now. And I don't want her to feel bad anymore than what she feels now." So after that, they get out of the woods. Zex stops with the. You know, Zex was already done as. Rias was just waiting for Akano. Um, Koneko walks, runs over to Rias and just hugs her because she still is emotionally, you know, unstable, and Rias does help her out. Asha just goes over to Issa because he's there, and she just holds him. And Agano just went over, to Rias though because of her duty. So Naruto just body flickers as he gets into the their usually count their room, where they usually do their means of council room basically. As he just says, "So when's the training camp?" To Zaxi, he goes, a couple weeks or days, depends on what Reese wants to do. And he goes, all right. So basically, though, that night they Issei does what Asha is supposed to do. Go over and gets a contract, but he doesn't fail it this time. He basically does it. He gets it, which Rias was impressed. And all this time she's been thinking about Naruto. He basically like after basically, she saw him Naruto body flicker away, and she doesn't know where he went. And basically after talking to Zex, they say he's gonna go home, and he just gets there 5 minutes away. So he runs right through the forest, jump on the trees and just all that. So yeah. So after that, Naruto, you know, basically just like sleeps, and he thinks to himself, "I really need more people here. Hmm, maybe I should really beat Razors, bad enough so I can actually get his chess pieces. Doesn't he have all girls on his freaking like chess pieces? I forgot he's a freaking perv and a jerk. Great. Hopefully he ain't doing nothing to them." So yeah, Naruto falls asleep after that. After thinking that, so everything goes similar to canon. So like with the basically the gym thing happens and not Rios. Issei gets basically hit in the head, and he gets knocked out. He's in the nurse's office. It's not Rios is there. It's Ashina. She's there with him, and she's we're just wearing her freaking gym uniform. As basically No, not Reese's. Issei doesn't freak out. He's alright. He just looking at her face, and he just says, "Wow, I didn't know she could be even more cute while sleeping." And then he just falls back. He says, "I should probably get back to sleep because I have to look like a creep." So he, falls back to sleep. And like 3 minutes later, he does wake up, and Ashina is like awake. She says, "Morning," and he goes, "Why were you?" He goes, "Oh, I just want to see if you're alright, and I just couldn't help myself asleep." So yeah. So after that, I believe it is the no, not yet. So after that though, the next day. No, it's not the next day. It is like people, they're telling them that later today we're gonna go get some familiars. Because it's not always everyone should Ryusen, not Ryusen, Issei and Ashina should go pass out flyers. Naruto's in the room just reading a book as he says, "Huh. So, familiars, huh?" As he just closes it, says, "I'll come along with you." As he just smiles, as Ryus is on shock, he goes, what, really? As Zex does enter the room, and he says, because he does come by because he wanted to ask Naruto a question. So when he does come in the room, though, he says, "Naruto, have you been training?" As he says, "Yes, brother, I have. Right now, though, I am doing training right now." As he asks, "What do you mean?" He goes like, "All right. So back in my place, there are basically a couple of clones going for the information from my head, from the Sage of Six Paths, and from the memories of Karama. Well, who I was also before." As Zax nods says, "Good. So how is it?" He goes, "Well, I'm having some work on chakra control, some jutsus, getting a basic understanding of it, working out, and even studying. I ain't letting no part of my, abilities go to waste, including my agility training. I had to summon about a good 50 or so shadow clones, multi-shadow clones, just to get it just to basically, as a test, because I had an idea if they can train for me, just to get my body and my physical strength up, and even get knowledge of what I can and cannot do, then why not have this happen a little bit, most of the time?" Isaac just smiles. And then, so basically after that, Rhea says call everyone to come in. And then, it's the student body council. As it is, hold on, let me just check the names real quick. Yeah, so it's Sona, Tsubaki, and Genshiro, and the rest of the people, walk in. As, they say that, as Naruto says, "Huh. So it's been a while, Sona, Tsubaki. How have you two been?" And, Sona just says, "Naruto, it's been a while. You look different." Well, basically I just say it's in her voice, basically, if you know her, but yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, I know. I look different. I act different. I'm a little more lazy, sleeping a lot more in class, and still ace and everything." And, Sona gets a little bit irritated because Naruto was always good at studying than her, even though he was he's lazy. And Sabaki's just laughing as she looks at her and just like goes a little deaf clear. As Sabaki just stops laughing. He was like, "Oh, come on, it's not that bad. I mean, you always try to beat me in academics, and we both know ain't gonna happen." Sona is about to start making an ice crystal, and Rios is about to interfere, but Akino shakes her head no. Zex comes through the door as he says, "Naruto, are you teasing Sona again?" He goes, Yeah, I am. It's just fun. She acts like she's so tough. It's just cute. As he has like a menacing grin on his face. Because he's ready for a fight. Like, these two fought all the time when they were like kids. As she just says, "Oh, so you want to go?" As ice is starting to form around him. As then next you know, Naruto just start not weaving hands on. He just starts getting ready, and he gets into a fancy. He goes like, "Bring it on, bring it on! I'm ready for you." As Zex just says, "Okay, okay, enough, you two," and he just says, "Fine." Jeez. So after that happens, you know, um, God, what's his name? Give me a minute. Genenchiro just like starts to talk, like saying what's with him and who's that clown over there? As Rias introduces Issei and Ashina, and then well, she introduced this is Naruto Gremory. He goes, no, it's Naruto Uzumaki Gremory, which that catches Sonia Tsubaki's attention. She goes, what the? And he goes, yeah, I I found out who my parents were. As Sonia just smiles and she says, "That's great." And he goes, "They're dead." And he just says it with a straight face, and she goes, "Oh, he goes, let me explain real quick. It's been over thousands of years, so they've been dead since the Konoha village was attacked by the Nine Tails. As which like I said, they do have records of it, and legend as but that was like thousands of years ago." He goes, "I know. I came through that time period, and yeah, I'm here now." As Sona just it's shocked by this. Savaki is even shocked too, and Kenenchiro just says, "Okay, who the heck is this guy?" And wait, did you say Gremory? He goes, "Yeah, I'm part of the Gremory family, so it's nice to meet you." And he goes, "Why do you have yellow and orange hair?" He was like, "Oh, trust me, if you found out, you may consider me something else, but no, I'm a beast. Don't get me wrong." As he just walks over to the chair and just sits down in it. So, Sonya just says exactly the same thing she does, and then the whole entire tennis scene happens. Everything's happened just similar. Naruto's like just in the tree, just wondering, God, why every single guy has to freaking go crazy just because of this? And then he just glances over to Akino and, you know, right, Rias' side, and then back over to Sonya Tsubaki's. He goes, "Okay, I see why, but still, do you want to freaking scream this loud?" And then he has a devilish grin on, so he goes like, "Alright, let's see if I can make everyone hate me." As then Naruto just basically body flickers right into the game. Well, not in front of where they're about to hit the ball, and basically it's just right behind them. As everyone's in shock, he goes like, "Yo, Rias, Akina, you mind if I, take over?" Akino just says, "Oh, I don't mind. I actually want to see how strong you are." So she hands him her racket. As Rita says, "Naruto, you," goes, "I'm sure. Don't worry." So, she gets off the field, and Sonya and Tsubaki, are confused. Everyone is like, all the guys are freaking booing him, and Kaneko just saying, "What is he doing?" Kira just says, "Naruto is unpredictable," as basically Issei and Ashina says, "Go Naruto, you can beat them," and Naruto just like puts a thumbs up and says, "I got this," and Issei says, "Yeah, show them who you are," and so he just starts stretching. He goes, "So, how are we gonna do this? You use magic and I don't, or he just says about you use your tricks and I just use mine. And Sonya just says, fair fight. He goes, oh, it's not gonna be a fair fight. It's just gonna be a slaughter. And she doesn't care what he just says, and she just says an idiot. So she does a serve. Naruto can already see where it's going. And right when it hits the ground and it comes up, Naruto is also right there. He just hits it right to the other side. As Tsubaki tries to get it, but it goes past her. And then Sonya, when it hits the ground in the lines basically, she's about to get as it just suddenly bounces right past her. As he goes, it's his point. And he goes, all right, let's see what you're made of now. And so this goes on for about a couple minutes, and it's Naruto's win. And Naruto showed incredible speed and strength. At the last hit, though, he says, all right, take this! And basically, he just sends it flying. So it goes right to Sonya's racket and everything, and just goes right into the fence, and it starts spinning. As Naruto just says, sorry, I got too excited there. Too much in the moment. And so Naruto wins. Everyone's shocked. Oh, sorry, but anyway, as I said, Naruto wins. Everyone's in shock. And basically what happens, Naruto just, gives Akano her racket. Rias is amazed by this, and her face is just red. She shakes it, basically her face, and she goes, no, don't feel this way. She's not trying to she is amazed by him, but she's something else happens. A little hint. So Naruto looks at Rias, smiles, says, "I won," and then he turns around and he sees Issei and Ashina just cheering. Kaneko's just smiling, and he just puts his thumbs up as everyone is in shock. No one's cheering, and then all of a sudden, all the girls on our side just saying, basically just screaming out Naruto's name as one of them says, "Do you have a boyfriend? Date me." Basically, they all, become fangirls of Naruto, as then all the guys are just saying, to themselves, how? As Naruto just says, bye? And then bye the fuck goes away. And everyone's in shock. So, yeah. So after that little thing, they wanted a rematch, so they go into dodgeball. Naruto's not a part of it because Sona did not want him to be a part of it because he's changed. But at the last, though, a ball was coming at Issei, Naruto just appeared out of nowhere and just caught it. He was like, "Oh, there, that's a little bit too much force. You could have killed him." And it was Genshiro as he goes, "My bad." As Naruto just says, "Oh, so we're gonna have to play like that." All right. So he puts chakra into the ball and just throws that at Genshiro, and it goes flying right into him, and he goes sent flying. And because same thing happened where Genshiro was a little bit pissed off, and the whole entire thing with Ashina did happen. So with him and Issei, so yeah. And now, that next day, that night. No, it's not that. I think it's that afternoon. No, it's the next day. Yeah, it's the next day. They said they're gonna get their familiars. Naruto's with them. Zex also said he had to go, and he says, "Oh, perfect. I was gonna go there anyways with them." He goes, "Oh, all right. I'm coming too, though." So yeah, so everything happens similar to canon, but the slime gets off of Rias, Akano, and Ashina real quick because Naruto's there, and Issei did not have the nosebleed. He actually tried to help. As Rias says thank you to them, and the dragon does come to Ashina, yeah, Ashina, and though, and Issei's gonna get a figure familiar in this one. I'm gonna give him a fire snake. Reasons why not? As he says, "Cool." As in Naruto says, "I guess I don't get any." As he sees a fox, a silver fox, and he just says, "Huh." No, not a silver fox, an orange fox. And he goes, "Huh, all right." He walks over very slowly to it, as it is a little bit afraid. It's underneath. It's like in a area of the trees that have roots, or like the trees above ground and the roots are showing as the fox is in there. And he goes, "Don't be afraid, little guy. I got you." You know, as he moves very slowly to it, just to pet it. As it does bite him, he goes, "Nice little guy, huh? Or girl?" As it notices Naruto's not, doing anything, as it stops biting and licks Naruto, and he says, "Calm down, huh? Can you come out here?" As Naruto's moving his hand back as the fox does come out. And the guy who does the whole entire with the familiars, Naruto basically picks up the fox and just says, "My name is Naruto. It's nice to meet you." He just smiles, and so he goes, "Oh, you probably smell the me being a nerf like you." As he does show the eyes, the claws do get a little bit longer, teeth get a little bit sharper, along with the ears and then the tails. As the fox just starts like wagging its tail, as it just starts looking at Naruto, goes, "Hey, stop that! That tickles! Stop!" And basically, Koneko, Anko, Ashia, and Rias all just say, "Aww," and he sees his holding the fox, and he just says, "It's not cute." As all four of them says, "Yes, it is." He goes, "Whatever." Yeah, Koneko's with them. I'm making Koneko with them. Yeah, and Kiba was also with them too. So, anyways, Naruto can't do the same seal like Ashina can. Ashina can basically Ashina. Yeah, Ashina can. So basically, what happens is he just tells them that he can't basically bound it together, but if you know, trust me, I can trust you. As the fox, nods. As he holds out his arms, and then fox basically runs up his arm and onto his shoulder. As it starts rubbing its head against Naruto's face. As he just says, "I think it's the girl." As the guy just starts laughing and says, "Yes, yes, you're right." As then all of a sudden, a light comes off of the fox. As the fox then has a seal within it on its eye, as it can still see out of it. Like it can still see out of it basically. As Naruto then has a seal on its hand. Nah, not on its you can feel it on his shoulder. And everyone's shocked by this. And he says, "Oh, foxes don't usually have to do the same thing like normal, familiars can. It basically leaves a mark on you if it likes you enough, as a sign that you are its friend or owner or master or whatever." I don't really know. This is the first time in about 150 years since someone ever found a fox, familiar. So yeah, and basically, everyone was surprised by this. So yeah, so what happens is, hold on, I gotta go do something. Oh, I'm back. So yeah, so after that, I think it's the training, camp. As as Eurystheus says, I call the meeting, as everyone says, "Oh, it's time for our annual training camp." As he says hype for this along with Ashina, as everyone else is too. So they all go to the training camp. Naruto's with them along with Zex, as Naruto does his training. He does his training, physical training, and Zex has been helping him. He basically has some trainers to help him, like Beelzebub and give me a minute, and Fail basically. just help him. Beelzebub helped him with, as he explained, but he doesn't have magic, he has chakra, so he comes up with a way for Naruto to use his chakra in many different ways, like people use their demonic magic. He's able to, make the magical circles, but he calls it chakra circles. He can teleport and all that, and such. Like he can, he learns many new jutsus like Shidori, Rasengan, He basically even makes his own version of Amaterasu, which the sages this past is just surprised by it. Basically, it is Amaterasu, but it's just Amaterasu. Yeah, Amaterasu, but basically it's in his palm of his hand, basically like the Shidori would be. But it's the Amaterasu basically on his hand, and then just like the Shidori. So yeah, he makes that. Or he can just switch it to be both like that, like the same thing with Sasuke can do. He does water styles, like earth styles, wind styles. He even like made ice style, wind and water. I mean ice style and wood style. Um, he his taijutsu gets better with Bale basically, and that's I forget how long it was, but I think it was like 3 to a week. So let's just say a week, and he while Issei learning how to control his sacred gear, his boosted gear. And Naruto also helps him with training, and Issa gets just freaking stronger, and like he gets so strong. Like freaking Drake is even impressed by Naruto. He actually comes out and says it to like Issa. He goes, "How do you have such a caring friend? You basically were a pervert." He goes, "Oh well, I was, but Naruto here helped me out to not be a pervert all the time, unlike my friends." He said it's good to act like one, maybe like once in a blue moon or something, just not always. You got a bad reputation. And I found out that I really do, so I stopped being a pervert. As Issei explains to Drake. As Drake thanks thanks Naruto for you. I was like, it's no problem. What are friends for? So yeah. So he's sorry. But so the day is the week is over, and they had to go back to school. So yeah, so on that day after class, they all have like a meeting again, and she says like Risa says she is glad for everyone to basically got even stronger. And then all of a sudden Razor comes. As Naruto is just ready for this. He goes, and Issei goes, "Who's this?" And Naruto says, "Oh, this guy is the guy I'm gonna kick his butt and take everything that all those girls right behind him. I'm gonna free them from his slavery, even and beat this pervert down to the ground." As Issei never seen Naruto this pissed. As he says, "Is he the reason why you?" He goes, "Heck yeah! I don't want you to become this scumbag." And then like Razor says, "How dare you call Razor a scumbag?" As basically Issei thinks to himself, did he really just call him talking to the third person? As Naruto, basically just tells me like, "How dare I? How dare you treat them like nothing like toys? I hate you so much, and I can't wait till I beat you." As he just cracks his neck and says, "So, the wedding's in 2 days, right?" As everyone who did not know, so like Issei and Asha says, "Wait, what when?" He was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna marry, Rias." But, a while back, let's say like when I was 12, like 10, I declared a fight. 2 days before the wedding, I fight him. I take his parag and have them work for me, and alone I have Rias can choose to marry whoever she wants. It doesn't matter if it's him, it doesn't matter if anyone, as long as she can choose instead of being forced into this arranged marriage." As Naruto basically just glaring at him. As Issei finally understands why Naruto was so hard on him on being a freaking, the way he was in the past. As he just smiles and he says, "Thanks, Naruto. No, I really won't have to be like this scumbag." As if Razor just gets really ticked off, as some of the girls just like are smiling as Naruto sees this. He goes, and he's saying to himself, he was like, huh. So some of them are as he sees, but it's, as he's looking for all of them, as he sees, it's actually all of them, including his queen. And she comes over, you know, I mean, well, not Rias, Razor does the same thing he does to her as Naruto just gets mad as Razor says, "Are you jealous of me because I get to do this?" As Naruto just says, "No, I'm not. You're just a sad child throwing out your name. Can't be able to like you for your name or fear you. With no skills or backbone behind anything. Why should I be sad of you?" As like everyone started laughing, including his, Parage, even the queen that he's in his arms right now. As basically he starts squeezing on her, she's not showing that she's in pain, but Naruto's going to tell. As in all of a sudden, Naruto's right in his face with his claws pointed. He says, "Stop hurting her, or I'll end your life." And Naruto in this one really cares about, he respects women and he cares about people. So when he found out like Razor just a treat like Razor like a toy like he does with his Parag, he can't handle it. He could not handle like that guy, so he didn't want to fight him for years. And so Razor does, he goes, huh, we'll have a fight in an hour, so get prepared and I'll, you know, beat you. The way the Razor only does, as he says, and all of a sudden, he disappears. In a flame. As he says, "Who is that guy?" He goes, "Razor the Phoenix. His family, they say, is a high end, demon family. I mean, not demon, devil. Oh God, this is all back now, a devil family. I mean, so me go against him. One who's not even in the Parage is going up against him, and who's also a non-demon. Well, actually, I am one." As Issei and Ashina are going like, "What? Including Kiba, Akano, Koneku, and Rias knows." As Naruto just says, "Alright, so, let me to explain." Then, not Zeref, Zeref, comes in, as he says, "Sorry I'm late, did I miss anything?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, you missed a Razor, coming in here, barging in, like he usually does, and trying to check on Rhea, saying like, 'Are you ready for the wedding?' And then I started insulting him. As Akano, got it all recorded, and she shows him as even like basically sex last. So he says, "All right, but what are you about to tell me?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I was gonna tell him about this." And they say the ears pop up and the tails. He goes, "Yeah, I'm the Nine Tails." Oh wait. No. They no, never mind. Scratch that. They knows, they know, like, but they never got an explanation. Go like, is it the ears and the tail? And they pop out. And he goes, yeah, I am the nine-tailed fox. You know, well, I mean, I once was, and then I was once Naruto Uzumaki, not Mikaze, but the Sage of Six Paths merges my soul alone. Well, my human soul basically with the tail beast. Mind, body, and soul, basically. So, oh, this is fun. So an hour later, the the dome, starts to go over the place, and Razor says, "I'll have everyone fight for me first, so because you're not worth my time. You're just weak," as that's what he thinks. So Naruto, he basically says, "Ladies, because they're all in one group," and he says, "You don't have to fight me. I'm here to free you from his, well, torment." As a few of them nod, as the queen just says, "It does not matter. We're here to fight you." He goes like, "Well, I should just start discussing the details on your job with me. You're not going to be treated as what, Razor does treat you like. You're gonna be treated with respect and like natural, women. And so if you guys need to go to school, basically, I'll find a way for you. But anyways, so as a way, I'm gonna knock you all out, and I'm gonna then have you go to safety. So basically, he just disappears, knocks them all out, and he makes shadow clones as they run over, with each one in hand, over to Zex and Rias and the rest of the class. I mean, the rest of the team. As Razor is shocked to even see this, and so he gets down and goes, "How? How are you able to defeat them all?" He goes like, "Easy. I'm just better than you. Good looking than you, and I get more girls to like me just on my personality than my name and my money. So yeah, beat that." As he basically Razor just sends out a flame wall at Naruto. As Naruto just smiles, he goes, "All right." And then he starts doing hand signs, as he basically does a Shidori, along with I can't say it. Damn it. Basically Amaterasu is in there. As he basically just runs right through the fire. As Razor is not stopping, he just keeps on making like even more flames. As Reese is just like, oh, as she screwed out Naruto along with Akano and Kendo, not Akano and Kendo, Akano and Kaneko. And but then they start seeing a fox face in the flames, as he says, "Is that all you got, you stupid bird?" As Razor's in shock, he was like, what are you?" He goes, "I have the 9 tails. I am the demon fox that attacked Konoha village." As Naruto's built this, like, he was like a long distance when Razor started attacking him, so basically he's hearing it. He goes, "What? And I am also." As Naruto basically jumps right through the flames as the face disappears, he goes, "Naruto Uzumaki! Take this! Shidori!" 1,000 birds basically, and then like Amaterasu, as it cuts right through Razor's arm as he screams out in pain. And then when Naruto lands, and he makes a quick hand sign, summons out the Rasengan and basically slams it right into Razor's back as he goes into the ground. He's making a little crater. As everyone sees this, and Zex already called it. He says Naruto won. As like in the contract that they made all those years ago, as X brings it up with magic, is as the king of the underworld, Lucifer, me, I hereby pronounce you free of Razor's pawns, bishops, pieces as slaves. As then the pieces that were in them start to glow and fly out of them, like, come out and then drop, basically, I mean. As they're all in shock. As Naruto basically walks over, Akano and, Kaneko, are just blushing and run over to him. As, then, like, Naruto sees Rias. Like, he was looking at both of them, then he also saw Rias as she's holding, like, her hand near her heart and just blushing and smiling. As Naruto thinks, did she always have that? As he goes, his memory starts to flash in his face. Well, flash in his head. As he remembers Rias is like when Naruto was always like, woke up in the middle of the night. Rias was there, and her face was bright red. He goes, "No, did Rias have a crush on me? And is that why she didn't want me in the Parag? Because she didn't want me to die? Then why did she? Oh, yeah, the old entire stepbrother thing. I guess that's why. Huh. Oh well. Oh, as then Kaneko and freaking Ankano just like tackled hug him as he was like starts to laugh. He was like, "What's wrong with you two?" And they say, "We just want to give you a hug and congratulate you." As then right when they said that, they kiss him on the cheek, and Rias's face just goes in shock everyone else's face goes in the shop besides Naruto and Zex. As then Rios gets a little jealous. As Naruto just says, huh. No, he just whispers to them. He goes, I think Rios actually had a crush on me. And Akino just realized, he was like, oh my god, you may be right. She says she'll find her diary. Hold on, everyone. Akino saying she'll find her, Risa's childhood diary. Maybe she'll have, information saying if she does like you or not. Naruto says, alright, thanks. So yeah, so he gets up, they let go of him. He walks over to, his Razor's former, Parage, as he says, alright, so you guys got two options. Work for me at my place in the human world, or work for someone else. Maybe even worse than Razor. As they all look at each other, and just says, they'll work for him. And he basically says, so now you guys are officially, well, you can take the name Grimory, so that way, you have nothing bad happens. And yeah. Oh yes, by the way, I'm saying because Naruto trained with trained a lot more. He trained with basically two powerful devils. So he's a lot stronger. So that's why he wins against Razor so easily. As Issei was in shock and all, shocked and all that. As they all discussed it, as they said they'll join him. It was good. I got more people now, and I can be left alone. Not left alone, less being alone. Basically, I meant to say is, so yeah. So after all of that happens, all that craziness, I'm gonna just leave it off. No. So after all of that. Oh, sheesh. My bad, everyone. Give me a minute. After all that, he pays them back to his place. He gives them some clothing that will be way more comfortable for them. And he says you can wear that during your, cleaning days or, just hanging out days, basically. It doesn't really matter to me. So, yeah. They live in Naruto, all of them do, including the queen. She doesn't care about him. So, yeah. And so, let me see, yeah, the whole entire thing with the camping, not the camping, the whole entire battle between, freak, the battle between a certain person, yeah, and, freak, my head just started to doze off, everyone, but, yeah, so that's where I'm gonna end this off, because I'm starting to doze off, and I'm thinking about to mess up. Anyways, this is the second part. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it may be a little bit too much detail into orientation of it, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. You guys just stay safe out there, and bye everyone.